With a recap of what was day 3 in the trial of Shawn Diddy Combs. Once again, the prosecution's star witness, Cassie Ventura, was on the stand, and her testimony was both graphic and disturbing.
What happens when a music mogul's empire is rocked by explosive courtroom revelations? The trial of Shawn Diddy Combs has captivated the world, with shocking testimonies that threaten to shatter his legacy forever. Cassie Ventura, once Diddy's lover and now a key accuser, delivered powerful testimony revealing years of abuse and control. Pregnant and resolute, she described a decade-long nightmare behind the glitz, exposing a dark side of the music empire few imagined. The courtroom became a stage for raw honesty and chilling evidence, as secrets long buried began to surface in ways no one expected. This is more than a trial. It's a moment that could rewrite the story of one of entertainment's biggest legends. Cassie Ventura takes the stand. Cassie Ventura, once Diddy's lover and now a key accuser, took the stand in the courtroom, pregnant and determined, her presence commanding attention. She recounted a decade-long nightmare behind the glamorous facade, revealing years of abuse, control, and manipulation she endured. Cassie's testimony was raw and unfiltered, a stark contrast to the polished image the world knew. Despite the weight of her pregnancy, she showed unshakable resolve, facing her past with courage. Her words painted a chilling picture of power abused, describing how Diddy controlled every aspect of her life, from the way she dressed to the people she interacted with. She revealed the coercion behind the so-called freak-offs, parties that were far from the glitz and glamour publicized. Cassie spoke of being forced into situations that broke her spirit, drugged and manipulated to comply. The courtroom fell silent as Cassie detailed the emotional and physical toll these years took on her, leaving scars no one could see. She didn't just testify, she bared her soul, showing the world the hidden horrors behind celebrity. Witnesses and jurors alike were captivated by her courage, many visibly moved by the depth of her suffering and strength. Cassie's testimony was the fulcrum of the trial, a pivotal moment that challenged the untouchable image of a music mogul and set the tone for the revelations that followed. The dark reality of freak-offs. Cassie unveiled twisted parties known as freak-offs, long, harrowing marathons orchestrated by Diddy requiring her to perform under coercion and drug influence. These chilling accounts reveal the extent of manipulation and control behind closed doors. Cassie described these freak-offs as depraved events that stretched from 36 to 96 hours, sometimes lasting for relentless days, held in luxurious hotels like the Intercontinental, Trump Gramercy, or Mandarin Oriental. They operated under aliases such as Jackie Star or Frank Black, masking the true horror behind false names. Diddy's control was absolute, every detail meticulously planned, from the lighting in the room to the exact temperature, and even the use of baby oil and lubricants to enhance the disturbing spectacle. Cassie was forced to recruit escorts through Craigslist or Backpage, men like Clayton Howard or The Punisher, and performed scripted encounters designed by Diddy himself. She revealed how he coerced her into taking powerful drugs like ecstasy, cocaine, Molly, GHB, Special K, and mushrooms, all to keep her awake and compliant during these exhausting rituals. Some moments were so harrowing that Cassie recounted vomiting from the drug effects and feeling disoriented, trapped in a nightmare she could not escape. At times, Diddy even watched these events remotely via FaceTime, treating her as a toy in a twisted game, deepening her sense of disgust and helplessness. The courtroom was so affected by the details that prosecutors had to pause questioning at one point, as Cassie's voice conveyed the raw nightmare she endured. These freak-offs weren't occasional lapses. They were brutal weekly demands that defined Cassie's existence for years, holding her career hostage and shrouding her in fear and submission. Behind the glamour of the entertainment world, a dark empire of control and exploitation unfolded, with Freakoff standing as one of its most chilling symbols. Graphic evidence surfaces. Heart-wrenching evidence including bruises, hospital records under pseudonyms, and a grainy 2016 hotel video shocked everyone in court. These visuals and messages proved more than words, pushing the narrative of abuse from rumor to undeniable fact. In the video, Shawn Combs can be seen striking and dragging Cassie Ventura down a hotel corridor, her body limp and her fight fading. The footage was played for all to see in the courtroom, leaving jurors visibly shaken. One female juror covered her mouth to stifle a gasp, while others looked away, unable to face the horrifying reality unspooling before them. Alongside the video, Cassie presented photos she took in the aftermath, bruises snaking across her arms, a split lip, and neck marked red from violence. These images hit the jury like a shockwave, breaking through any remaining doubt. Hospital records obtained under a false name were also introduced, validating the severity and longevity of her injuries. More than just visual proof, text messages and emails surfaced showing Shawn Combs apologizing for brutal beatings in one breath and threatening to ruin her career in the next. A particularly disturbing email revealed an attempted bribe of $2 million, offered to keep Cassie silent and bury the past. The weight of this evidence painted a chilling picture, a man wielding immense power and fame to control and exploit the woman he once claimed to love. Each piece of proof piled higher, unraveling the carefully crafted facade of the music mogul's empire. The courtroom was gripped in silence, the truth on screen undeniable, forcing everyone to confront the dark underbelly behind the celebrity. The power imbalance and psychological control. The trial highlighted a devastating power imbalance. A young, hopeful artist trapped by a dominant titan controlling every detail of her life. Cassie's testimony exposed how fear and manipulation silenced her for years, with threats targeting her family to keep her quiet. She described how Shawn Diddy Combs wielded his fame and influence like a weapon, orchestrating every aspect of her life, from what she wore to how she spoke, even to whom she was forced to be with. This wasn't just control, but psychological imprisonment, where love was twisted into an invisible chain strangling her soul. Cassie recounted the constant dread, the fear of angering him enough to invite brutal consequences. Threats against her loved ones left her isolated, too frightened to seek help or escape. The courtroom heard how Diddy's reach extended beyond personal abuse, enlisting his inner circle, security, drivers, staff, to enforce his will and monitor her every move. This deep network maintained her silence and submission. Cassie's voice trembled as she revealed the crushing weight of this oppression and the toll it took on her identity and dreams. Yet, amid this calculated domination, she found the strength to break free from the shadows. Her testimony laid bare a chilling portrait of power turned toxic, where the glittering surface masked a relentless nightmare of control, fear, and psychological torment. Breaking the silence and facing the truth. Facing cross-examination, Cassie stood firm, confronting years of trauma with unwavering courage. Her revelations pierced through Diddy's carefully crafted image, leaving a once untouchable figure appearing vulnerable and isolated. Despite the defense's attempts to discredit her, she remained unshaken, calmly answering questions while exposing the calculated control and fear she endured. Cassie revealed how threats against her family kept her silent for years, a haunting reminder of the power imbalance. She described the psychological torment, the relentless manipulation, and the physical abuse, making it clear this was more than personal pain, it was a systemic abuse of power. This testimony was not just a retelling of events, but a fierce act of breaking chains forged by fear and silence. Cassie's courage highlighted the cost of speaking out in a world where power shields many from accountability. Her voice now echoes far beyond the courtroom walls, inspiring others trapped in darkness to find their strength. The trial became a pivotal moment, forcing a reckoning in an industry long criticized for turning a blind eye. As Cassie faced the daunting past, she also illuminated a path forward, where truth can dismantle even the most formidable facades. The crumbling empire. As evidence mounted, and allies quietly withdrew, Shawn Diddy Combs' once unshakable confidence began to crumble. The mogul who strode into the courtroom each day, radiating power and control, now appeared vulnerable, his facade slipping with every word Cassie Ventura spoke. His legal team scrambled desperately to claw back control, attempting to discredit Cassie by questioning her memory and motives. But the tide was turning inexorably against him, as the weight of damning texts, videos, and testimonies painted a grim portrait of a man wielding fame as a weapon to dominate and silence. For the first time, the untouchable king of hip-hop seemed dethroned, forced to confront a legacy stained by allegations of violence and exploitation. The courtroom drama unfolded like a spectacle, exposing not just a personal reckoning, but a seismic shift in how the entertainment industry might reckon with power and abuse. Each revelation chipped away at the carefully constructed empire, and even longtime insiders began to distance themselves quietly. The trial spun beyond a dispute between two figures, becoming a symbol of accountability in an industry long accused of turning a blind eye. Diddy's empire stood on fragile ground, and with a relentless flood of truth breaking through, its future increasingly uncertain. Public reaction and industry impact. Social media exploded with support for Cassie, and hashtags like #CassieSpeaks and #DiddyTrial trended worldwide, sparking widespread conversations about abuse and accountability in the music industry. Fans and fellow artists voiced outrage, with prominent figures such as Kalani demanding the industry take responsibility for the toxic environment that allowed such abuses to happen. Amid the uproar, rumors swirled about other prominent artists, including Meek Mill, allegedly tied to the so-called freak-off parties, although no concrete evidence has emerged to confirm their involvement. The trial has not only exposed shocking revelations about one music titan, but it has also ignited a broader reckoning within entertainment circles. Discussions about power dynamics, exploitation, and the silencing of victims have gained new urgency, forcing labels and promoters to re-examine their roles in protecting artists. Outside the courtroom, public opinion shifted dramatically, with many questioning how such abuses could go unchecked for years. Cassie's bravery in speaking out resonates far beyond her personal story, inspiring a new wave of courage among survivors in entertainment and beyond. As the world watches, the trial serves as a stark warning. The spotlight is no longer just on individual perpetrators, but on an entire system that enabled silence and suffering. This case might just be the beginning of a movement demanding real change, holding powerful figures accountable, and reshaping the culture of the music industry for good. Cassie's courageous testimony has pulled back the curtain on a powerful empire built on control and silence, revealing a harrowing story of manipulation, pain, and resilience. This trial is not just about one man, but about a system that allowed such abuses to flourish unchecked for years. The weight of the evidence, the chilling revelations, and the unyielding strength of a survivor have exposed cracks in a seemingly untouchable legacy. Whether justice will fully prevail remains uncertain, but the impact of these revelations is undeniable. It has sparked a global conversation about power dynamics in the entertainment industry, the hidden scars behind fame, and the urgent need for change. As the courtroom drama unfolds, it challenges us all to reconsider how we view success, authority, and the price paid by those caught in the shadows. The question now isn't just about guilt or innocence, but about the future of an industry willing to confront its darkest truths, and the survivors who refuse to stay silent any longer.